Welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Andrea Jackson. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and our next guest has a very personal connection she wants to share with others in her one-woman show in New York. It deals with the stigma of mental illness. And joining us now is Broadway actress Jessica Hendy. Jessica, welcome to Daily Flash.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Good to see you. So the name of your one-woman show is Walking with Bubbles. Where did the name come from?
Well, actually, Bubbles is the name, my pet name of my son, Beckett. I've nicknamed him Bubbles ever since he was a newborn. I don't know why, but he's just always been my Bubbles.
So what was it like for you writing your life story and talking about mental illness?
You know, it was extremely terrifying at first, but there was something in me that really wanted to share our story and talk about how we got through it. And hopefully, in turn, others can find a relatable thread in seeing the show, and there can be a big conversation, a bigger conversation, I should say, that can come from this.
Give us a little insight into the story if you can.
Okay, well, the story begins with the setting is at Central Park. Myself and my son are in Central Park waiting for our play date of the day. And a homeless man approaches me, and I offer him a sandwich. And the audience finds out very soon after that that homeless man is my ex-husband and Beckett's, Bubbles' dad.
Wow.
And so the story unfolds from there, and we find out how did we get to that point where his father became homeless or unhoused, and how do we get through it? And it deals mostly with untreated mental illness, single parenting, forgiveness, and just letting go of sort of the shame that is unfairly attached to mental illness.
Jessica, you're touching on a number of points I think so many people deal with on a daily basis. What's the main message you want people to take away from your story?
I think the main message is that something that is hidden in the shadows and feels so overwhelming that you can't share with the people you love even, or your friends, we need to find a way to bring that into the light and find a way to talk about those hard struggles and challenges that we all go through. Even if it's not the same exact struggle that I go through in the story, we all have these struggles, and we can all find out that we're kind of all the same and move forward.
I think it's a strong message right now with so many people talking about it and mental illness in the forefront. What's the reaction been like from audiences and from the New York theater community?
The reaction has been more than I could have ever dreamed for. Our whole team at Walking with Bubbles is just over the moon with the audience response and the sort of buzz about the show, because we've created a piece of theater that is important and impactful. And we all, the whole team, but myself especially, after the show, I will have audience members come up to me and sort of share their stories and let me know how important this piece of theater was for them. And in turn, we've had over and over again people coming back to the show and bringing family members, bringing friends who need to see this story or need to go and see, like, you're not alone here. Someone else has gone through this. So that's been really wonderful and surprising for all of us.
When it comes to mental health, I mean, there's so many different directions we could go in and talk about. And again, it's making headlines every day. It's a huge concern. I know it doesn't all fall under one umbrella, but what would be one important step for everybody to take when it comes to trying to solve, if you will, the trouble and the challenge of mental health right now in our country?
I think the biggest thing is that when we think of this, and I'm going to say an air quotes problem, because it's not a problem. But when we think of this issue as a whole, it's very overwhelming because it's so big. And the reason that it's overwhelming and big, in my opinion, is because it has an unfair stigma of shame attached to it. And I think if we just work to let that go and work to normalize a situation that has a lot of fear and shame attached to it, then we can begin to make small steps which lead to big changes of how we can move forward and help all the people that feel like they're unhelpable, because
Jessica,
they're not.
thank you so much. Great information. Walkingwithbubbles.com for more information.
Thank you.